Nigerian citizens living in Ukraine have been urged to remain calm and be security conscious following recent happenings and tensions between Ukraine and Russia. In a statement in Abuja by Gabriel Odu, NIDCOM Media Public Relations and Protocol Unit, the Chairman CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa gave assurances that the Nigerian embassy in Kiev, Ukraine, is doing all it can for the safety and security of all diaspora Nigerians in that country. NIDCOM boss also urges Nigerian citizens in Ukraine to visit the embassy website and follow the registration process. A former governor of EKITI State, Segun Oni, has dumped the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and appears set to pick the ticket of another political party to realize his ambition of returning to the government house at Ekiti. Addressing a mammoth crowd of his supporters at his country home, Oni, who lost out in the race for the PDP ticket, said he's not done yet as he has a divine duty to serve a second term in line with the aspirations of the Ekiti electorate. As our correspondent now tells us, the former governor is expected to make his new political party known in the next few days.
After many days of speculations, former governor of Ekiti State, Segun Oni, has finally dumped the People's Democratic Party for a party to be announced later. Oni made the announcement at a meeting with his supporters on Saturday, where he told them that he left the PDP because of the insistence of his supporters and the guidance he received from God. He also said the decision was taken having realized that the PDP can no longer serve as a platform for achieving the aspirations and expectations of his people. Oni, however, did not disclose to them the new party they were moving to. Upon hearing his decision, they went into jubilation. The aged were not left out of the jubilation as they defied all agencies to be part of the meeting.
If the primaries had been fair and square, I don't know who would have won that primary apart from him. So people love him genuinely.
I mean, he's friendly to everybody, and you can see the agitation in the town. People are saying that this man must come back. Go and take another platform.
Segun is not coming because of himself or his family. Segun is coming because of EKITIANS.
For some of Oni's supporters, his defection from PDP to another party could not have been at a better time than now, when Ekiti people require the inputs of the new patriots that will save her from decline.
2022 election is about Segun Oni. It is just a tsunami that is going through Ekiti right now, and Segun Oni is a big tsunami.
Segun Oni is the commodity, and Ekiti State is the market.
Segun quit PDP barely 10 days after the PDP governorship primary election was conducted in Ekiti, and the National Electoral Committee of the party, led by Akwa Ibom Governor Udom Emmanuel, declared Bisikola Wole the winner after scoring 671 votes as against 330 votes garnered by Segun Oni. It was also 2 weeks after a group of PDP protesters stormed the party national secretariat in Abuja to demand the cancellation of the 3-man election ad hoc delegates.
We have dissolved the PDP family. States dissolved. We are going to unveil the new party that we are going into. We are now moving into a new era. This new era will deliver a government for Ekiti that is of Ekiti, that is by Ekiti.
The Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, says full autonomy for the third tier of government holds the key to addressing some of the security challenges plaguing the nation. Leaders of the association have therefore called on state governors to do the needful to further empower the councils to live up to their role as the closest to the local people.
The current insecurity challenges being experienced in Nigeria are continuing to create concern among Nigerians. The Chairman, Board of Trustees, Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, Adunayo Ategbero, therefore wants local government administrators to think outside the box in making the system more viable for the third tier of government to meet its mandate to people at the grassroots. He also cautioned against continued interference in local government matters by state governments.
Local government autonomy was good because, financial autonomy was good because it will ensure that we can think and liaise with the people. It's not just sitting down as a chairman and try to roll out projects. You have the opportunity of asking from your people their priority areas where they want develop.
We expect it to be more if the concern is reviewed and autonomy, both administratively and financially, are granted to local councils to ensure that they can properly administer their money and then increase the areas of influence.
On better ways of funding local governments and granting them full autonomy, as envisaged by the 1999 Constitution as amended, Ategbero said this will go a long way in creating jobs and thereby help to curb some of the security challenges facing the country.
The only way to checkmate this ugly trend is to ensure that the local governments are bequeathed with full autonomy, not partial autonomy. Autonomy in administration of their finances, autonomy in some executive powers that has something to do with security and a whole lot of other primary health care system and other functions. NFIU try to come up with a policy, try to come up with a checkmate and all that, but that has not in any way ensured full autonomy for the local government system.
Local government being a third tier of government is the hope of the common man. It's where a common man will be given opportunity to do one thing or the other. But looking at the current situation in the country, most of the states manipulate or micromanage the local government.
Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, was founded on November 29, 1999 to promote and protect the interests, rights, privileges, and autonomy of local government area councils at all times. Imefonokon reporting for Clearview Television.
And the 35th African Union AU Summit has ended in Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital. The summit, which featured a formal handover of the AU chairmanship, resolved to further strengthen peace and security on the African continent.
At the summit were heads of states and governments across the continent. The theme of the summit was Building Resilience in Nutrition on the African Continent, Accelerate the Human Capital, Social and Economic Development. Among speakers at the opening session were the AU Chairperson Musa Faki Mahamat and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. One critical issue that came up for discussion is the continuous non-representation of the African continent on the United Nations Security Council. The African leaders noted that more than 7 decades after the birth of the United Nations, Africa remains poorly represented in the powerful UN Security Council, and this was affecting the handling of key issues. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed articulated the position of the AU leaders on the issue.
It is the right time to reform and revitalize the United Nations system to reflect current global realities and ensure that it is a more representative and equitable body. Only fair representation and transparency in those institutions can usher in a just era in multilateralism. Consistent with our Esluini Consensus of 2005, we should collectively insist that Africa's reasonable request for no less than 2 permanent seats and 5 non-permanent seats in the UN Security Council be adopted.
Other leaders stressed the need for the continent to place more emphasis on the development and growth of the agricultural sector. The 35th AU Summit has also witnessed the handing over of the AU's new chairperson for this year, to President Macky Sall of Senegal. He took over from President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The two leaders called for greater unity among African countries in the face of emerging security, economic and social challenges. While President Tshisekedi said economic recovery is crucial, President Sall paid tribute to the founding fathers of the organization. The two-day AU summit came up with resolutions that are expected to further strengthen peace and security on the continent.
There is still celebrations in Senegal following the country's victory in the AFCON tournament. Senegal's President Macky Sall declared this Monday a public holiday to celebrate the national football team's first ever African Cup of Nations crown following their victory against Egypt. Sall, who had been due to visit Comoros at the end of a trip that took him to Egypt and Ethiopia, cancelled the last leg in order to welcome the triumphant Lions on their return to Dakar at 13-hour GMT. Led by Liverpool star Sadio Mane, Senegal overcame Mohamed Salah's Egypt 4-2 in a penalty shootout at Sunday's final in Cameroon. The game had finished goalless after extra time. After two previous final defeats in 2002 and 2019, Senegal finally claimed their first Cup of Nations title. The Lions will be decorated by Sall on Tuesday at the Presidential Palace in Dakar. Is this punishment or wickedness? This was the question on the lips of everyone that witnessed what could easily be termed man's inhumanity to man in Adebowale area of Akure, Ondo State, where a woman has been arrested by the police for inflicting injuries on a boy for stealing meat from her pot. As a result of the injuries inflicted on his body, much blood covered him.
No, it's too much. I can't bear it. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
The spokesperson of the State Police Command, Femilaya Odulami, confirmed this development. She said the case would be transferred to the Criminal Investigation Department. In the meantime, the boy has been taken to the police clinic in Akure, where he has been receiving treatment.